Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dr. Tashambi Speaks. I am Dr. Tashambi. So let me tell you a little bit about my show and how it derived. People are always asking questions about nursing concerns, nursing practice, evidence-based practice. What program should I take next? What GPA do I need in order to get into CRNA school, midwifery school? So what I've done is I have developed a Gmail account, and it's called Dr. Tashambi Speaks at gmail.com. And you can go there and drop your questions inside of that email account, and I will address your questions on a weekly basis. So the question of the week is, before you say yes, and I'm not saying yes to the marriage proposal. What I am saying yes to is before you say yes to the nurse manager or the recruiter, before you take your nursing job. So there are certain questions you need to ask before you say yes. So what are those questions? One question is, how much will I make per hour? Now, let me tell you something. The manager is probably going to say, oh, I'm not aware of what that hourly rate of pay is. So then she'll defer you to the nurse recruiter. When the nurse recruiter sends you an offer letter, what you want to do, if you want to receive the maximum amount of hourly pay for your work, you want to counter what the nurse recruiter asks you. That is, if you have something in place in order to counter them with. So what do you need to counter them with? Certifications. If you are applying on a neurosurge unit and you know that an NIH stroke scale certification is necessary to work on that unit, why don't you consider having that certification before you apply for that job? That way, they don't have to pay you to go and take the course. You've already come in the door with criteria and your repertoire in place in order for you to be able to ask for a little bit more per hour. By the way, I think I'd ask for about $3 more. And then if they don't want to pay you $3 more, they might take it down to $2. So now you're working on the unit as a brand new nurse making $2 more than everybody else. Why? Because you decided to think about yourself before you said yes. The next thing is, why don't you ask them, do they have tuition reimbursement? That's important because nowadays hospitals want the majority of their nurses to be baccalaureate prepared nurses. So if you have an associate's degree, you want to make sure your hospital will offer you tuition reimbursement. Now, sometimes they do want you to work for them a couple of years after they paid for you to go to school, but when you think about thousands of dollars that you'll save, it's worth it to go ahead and work for them for 2 years and you have that bachelor's degree under your belt. Think about that. Lastly, you want to think about, does your company have a retirement account? Sometimes nurses aren't business savvy, and we should be, because you are highly marketable. So what you want to find out is, does your company offer retirement? Do they have a 403B? Do they have a 401k? Do they match your retirement dollars? That's important for you to know. You don't want to go from that nurse who's making 6 figures all throughout your career to a nurse who's making $800 a month because you failed to invest in yourself. So just think about that before you say yes. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Tashambi Speaks. And don't forget, send your questions to me at drtashambispeaks@gmail.com.